Okay, so right now, when you guys do this graph, so this graph is actually very tricky because it has nothing to do with logarithm. It has actually everything to do with your e-math knowledge. So Carrie and Chinlong, because you guys have learned under me for e-math, so for e-math, right, what do you notice? Do you still remember that e-math? Remember I told you guys about two different graphs? So wherever you do graphing for e-math, I hope you all still have your e-math graphing notes. Okay, we have two types. The first type is y is equal to x to the power of something. The other one you have to take note of is y is equal to the base of whatever constant it is and then a power of x. Can you all see that? Okay, so right now, if you look at it, now, can you see that y is equal to x? The x is a base, yeah? So if the x is a base, okay? So if the x is a base, what do y'all notice? Do y'all remember how would the graph got, what are the different variation of graph you have when y is equal to x as a base to the power of something? What kind of different variations of graph you have? The different format.
There's a straight line graph.
So what is it? Y is equal to what?
Y equals to x.
X power of what?
The power of 1.
What else?
Then there's a curve graph, the U shape and N shape one.
Which is what?
Y equals to x to the power of 2.
And what else?
Then there's y equals to the x to the power of 3, which is the S one.
What else? Still have some more. What else?
Power of -1.
Very good. And so on and so forth. I will not go more in depth. So guys, if you watch my TikTok video, okay, all this graph is all in my TikTok video. Okay, I've already uploaded a TikTok video, a version to help you to memorize the shape and the type of graph. But my TikTok video doesn't have this one, which is something to the base. The base is a constant and the power is an unknown, an x. So this is called an exponential graph. Can you all still remember how does the exponential graph look like? Carrie and Chinlong especially. How does an exponential graph look like?
It's like a plane landing or plane flying off.
Very good. Plane landing or plane flying off, but I gave you guys a proper name for it. So what is the proper name for it? And what is the format is always in exponential graph? There is a special format that's in. How would the format look like?
Y
What is the
equals
format?
ABX.
Y is equal to?
ABX to the power of x.
A what bx? What's this sign here?
Times.
Very good. Y is equal to a times b to the power of x. So how to interpret all this? How will you interpret all this? If you look at your notes, what does it say?
A is the intercept on the y-axis.
Very good, Chinlong. So this is actually the y-intercept. What else? What else?
If B is between 0 and 1. It's a landing graph.
Means what's the name of it? It's a what kind of graph? It's a start with D, guys. D. What kind of graph? It's in your notes, guys. Let's look at your notes.
Different variation.
No, D-E, 5-letter words. The what graph? This is a what kind of graph?
Decay.
Yeah, very good, Jinlong. Decay. What else? What's the next type? There's one more type.
Growth.
When what?
Growth.
Yeah, growth. But what's the condition? How do you know it's a growth graph?
B is more than 1.
B is greater than 1. Yes. So greater than 1 will look like a what?
Plane taking off.
Like a plane taking off. Very good. Then the y-intercept means the one in orange. So this is the y-intercept here. Your A value. And your A value. So this is everything that is a recap from E-math, okay? This has nothing to do with A-math, all right? So this one you all need to know your E-math very, very well. Why? Because right now, what is the graph that they gave you? So what is the graph that they gave you guys now? What's the name of the graph that they give you?
Y equals to e to the power of 2x minus 2.
Okay, so we are doing objective 2 now. So we are drawing the graph. And the graph is what again?
Y equals to e to the power of 2x minus 2.
So whenever I see this, what would I
Minus,
want to do first?
the minus 2 is below. It doesn't belong to
Minus
the
2
power.
below. What?
It doesn't belong to the power.
We are on question 80, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh,
Minus
okay.
2 like that.
Never mind, never mind.
Huh?
It's minus 1.
Minus 1. So this is a question, right? Can someone double check?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so this is a graph we need to draw. So when this is the graph we need to draw, what do you notice about it? Who is the unknown? Is E the unknown or X the unknown? Is E the unknown or X
X.
the unknown? X is the unknown, right? So what do you notice? What kind of graph already? Is this the left side or the right side type?
Right side.
Right side, right? So it means that this is gonna be an exponential graph. And it's for sure an exponential graph because E for exponential. Okay, so for exponential graph means we need to go and make sure it's in the right format. But can you see right now, it's not in my y is equal to a times bx format. So right now, how are we going to do it? So what are we going to do? How are we going to modify this graph? We need to modify this graph. So how are we going to modify it?
One times e to the power of 2x minus 1.
Still cannot because the graph, right? The format says it die has to be b to the power of x. Means the power can only have x, that's it, nothing else. So it's still not in something to the power of x, because right now it's in a very raw form. It's like 2x minus 1. It needs to be just in terms of x. So it's not fully modified yet. So how are we going to
Split up the
modify it?
powers.
What?
Split up like the powers.
Very good. So when we speed up the power, what do we get?
E to the power of 2x divided by e to the power of negative 1.
Okay, I would not want to use divide, because if you look at the format, what does the format have? If you look at the format, what sign is it in the format?
Times.
So I will not want to use divide. I want to use something else. I need a what? What sign?
Times.
Times. So I will have e to the power of 2x.
Times e to the power of negative 1.
Yes, very good. So now it's almost like the form a times b to the power of x already, right? So let me go and rearrange it and remodify it again. So what will I have now? Y is equal to I need to rearrange it. It needs to be the form of a times b to the power of x. But right now it's still not in that form yet.
E power negative 1 times. Do I have to take out the 2?
You want, you also can. You can try.
Then open bracket e to the power of x close bracket to the power of 2.
Okay, Chi-En, you are very close already. But the key thing is the format says who must be outside. Must be have the power of what?
X.
X. But is your power X right now? If you look at it.
No.
Your power is how much?
2.
2. So it means that this is still not in the format that I want. So I need to go and modify again. So what will I have?
Oh, do I switch the places of like x and 2?
Yes, you can. Do you all still remember the E-math rule on indices? Correct? So is this the same as a n times m? Yes or no? Is this two the same? Guys, is this two the same?
Yes.
So that answers Chi-En's question, whether can I switch? So right now, what do we have?
E to the power of negative 1 times bracket e square close bracket x.
Yes. Ta-da! Done. Okay? So there's nothing to be scared about E, because E is not an unknown. E actually has a value. So for me, I don't like it to put in the form of e to the power of negative 1. So what must I do with this e to the power of negative 1? What will I do with the e to the power of negative 1? I don't like to see negative. So what will I do?
1 over e.
Yes. Okay, and 1 over e, put it in your calculator. Go and find out how much is that 1 over e if you put it in your calculator. Is it a positive or negative value?
Positive.
Positive. So it means that I know that my x-intercept, my y-intercept is going to be positive, right? So right now I can start drawing already because it's in the right format. So the orange one is my A. So who is my y-intercept if we look at the format now? So now the format is good. It's in the right format. So what am I going to do? Who is my A for this case? Who is my A, my y-intercept?
1 over e.
This is my 1 over e. So I'm going to put my 1 over e here because I just put into a calculator just now. My 1 over e is a positive. I last checked it was a positive. Or rather, Jinlong last checked it was a positive. Okay, so right now, let's look at the next one. What do we have? What must we look up for now that we got the y-intercept?
The x-intercept.
X-intercept. There's no x-intercept. What's the next color we need to look at? Just now, what color were we looking at?
Let's look at green.
So right now we look at B. So who's our B for this case? Who's our B for this case?
E square.
E square. So what about this E square? So what is this E square? B got two types. So what type is this then? If we put it into our calculator.
B more than 1.
Very good. So it's a what kind of graph? Growth. So I know that this will be upwards. Okay, so when you draw, you need to be very, very careful, okay? You need to be very careful that this tail cannot be upwards, okay? So I cannot really erase it off. Let me try to erase it off. It must be almost touching to the x-axis, but not touching. Okay, and then here is my asymptote. So your asymptote, always draw it, okay, because you say that, oh, because yours is red, so you can see it. So I purposely choose black. So can you see how I draw the asymptote? I draw it literally on top of the very, very close to the x-axis. Can you see how I draw? Even though I'm using black, it can still be seen, right? It must be touching the x-axis. It cannot float. It cannot float. Okay, so it's just nice touching. So this is my asymptote, and my asymptote will be y is equal to 0. This is my asymptote. And then we have our y-intercept and then the shape. Okay, guys, you need to be very careful because, right, if you look at this question has one more condition that they give you of the graph. So read the question again. What's the condition that they give you for this graph? So the graph doesn't come just in y is equal to e to the power of 2x minus 1. It has a second part to the question. So what is the second part to the question?
They ask you to find
What's the second part to the question? What's the second part to the question?
X is greater than or equal to negative half and
Very
smaller
good.
than or equal to 1.
Very good. Can you repeat again? X is what?
X is greater than or equal to negative half and smaller than or equal to 1.
Yes. So right now, it means that they're telling you, right, that this X value actually has a range. Means the lowest X value, can you see the lowest X value here? This is the lowest X value. Okay, this lowest X value have a value, which is how much? So we must put a dot, a close colored dot, because can you see there's an equal here? Unless there's no equal sign, means it's just lesser, then it's an open circle. But right now it has to be a closed circle. So closed circle and the X value is negative half. So I fill in negative half. So what does this mean? It means that when you find this X value of negative half, you actually need to find the corresponding Y value. Okay, so you need to know when X is equal to negative half, what is the Y corresponding Y value of this X is equal to negative half. So you actually need to put in this X equal to negative half into the equation. Okay, so if you put it into the equation, what do you get? What y value do you get? And put it in terms of e. So you don't have to use calculator, you can just tell me the exact value in terms of e. When you sub in, x is equal to -half. So maybe the girls, Chi-En and Carrie will do when sub in x equal to -half, what's the y value? And then Jun-Long, you will do the other one. That is when you sub in x is equal to, the other one is how much, Jun-Long? When you sub in x equal to?
1.
When x is equal to 1. So it means that this part here is going to be 1. Then Jun-Long, you'll find the corresponding y value. Okay, but this one is too short. So I make this higher. Okay, so girls, have you all found it? What is the corresponding y value? So this is my y.
You only need to state the equation, right? You don't need to give me like the answer.
Leave it in e.
Oh, okay. E to the power of 2.
It's not e to the power 2.
e to the power of -2.
Yes, and put it in index form as usual. So positive index means what is the value?
1 over e squared.
Yes, 1 over e squared. Next, Jun-Long, your turn. When x is 1, what is the corresponding y value?
E to the power of 1.
Which is yes?
E.
Yes, finish. And with that, we are officially done with the drawing. Okay, next part. What is the next part of the question? So I'll let you all make your notes first, and then after that, we'll do the second part. Okay, so right now they want you to find a suitable straight line that can be inserted to solve this. All right. So the keyword is suitable straight line. So suitable straight line means it's going to be like y equal to mx plus c format. Okay, and they say that can be inserted to solve this equation. So first thing first is you need to know the line that you just drew is actually, or rather the curve you just drew. What is the equation of the curve you just drew? It's called y is equal to, what's
E
the
to the
curve you just drew?
E to the power of 2x minus 1.
So what does that mean? Because we already have this equation right here. So it means that you need to make sure that your e to the power of 2x minus 1 must come out from this person. It must come out from this person. But right now, when I look at this equation at all, there is no e. So it means that I need to go and modify the given equation. Okay, so this is the given, rather the given, but this is what the question is saying. And then what is given is the one in green that I already existing, I already have it existing. Yeah, existing. Okay, so right now we have this is equal to this. So how are we going to modify? Anyone? What shall we do? What would we want to do?
Combine the right-hand side.
Very good. I'm going to combine the right-hand side. So when I combine the right-hand side, what do I have now?
ln open bracket 5, then open bracket again, 1 minus x,
Yay.
close bracket.
Okay, so right now we can actually solve this, right? So what does this give me?
5 minus 5x.
Yahoo! Done. Finish. Okay, then what about it? How do I continue then?
Change ln to log e.
Okay, so change ln to log e. Log base e, you mean? Then after that?
Then use the push-up method.
Okay, but when I do push up, I will not want to do like that. I want to be very confused. So I want to rewrite it first. So let me rewrite it first. So what will I have first?
Log base e,
Mm-hmm.
open bracket 5 minus
5 minus?
5x.
Uh-huh. After that?
Close bracket, then equals to 2x minus 1.
Yes, then from here, you can apply the technique that you just mentioned. What's the technique you just mentioned?
The push-up method.
Yes, the push up method. So what do I get now?
5 minus 5x
Mm-hmm.
equals to e
Mm-hmm.
power 2x minus 1.
So what do you notice? Do you realize that, isn't this the same as this now? So therefore, I can say that, what? What's the line? I can say that?
Y equals to 5 minus 5x.
Yes. So therefore, what is the line that I need to draw? Therefore, the suitable straight line would be
Y equals to 5 minus 5x.
y equal to 5 minus 5x. Ta-da! The end. Finish. Okay, because they only ask you to find the line. They never ask you to draw the line and find the solution or the intersection point. So that's all. The end for question number 80.